Hello everyone, I'm Melanie with Painting Crafty, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create this cute little whimsical watercolor chick. I'm going to show you the steps, broken down steps of how to draw it. And if drawing is not your thing, you could always pop over to my Ko-fi page, which is kind of like a Patreon page. And that is where I have my subscription for the tracers for my drawings. So you might want to check that out if you'd like to have a little help with drawing. And then once I get it drawn, I'm going to be showing you how to create the watercolor look. So let's go ahead and make this small and make me small, the picture big. So let's go ahead and break down this drawing. Now I'm going to be drawing on a watercolor paper because that's what I'm going to be doing. But honestly, once you have it drawn, you can use whatever art medium that you would like to use. So acrylic paints, markers, pencils, they all work. So the first step to do this drawing is you're going to create an egg shape. So I created my egg shape here first. So this is going to be my body and my head for my little chick. Once you get your egg shape drawn, this is where we're going to be doing our body. So down here, we're going to be adding some legs, just little rectangles at the bottom. We're going to be adding the feet, which are down, and then I just do 3 toes going off to the side. I don't put a lot of work into my feet. They'll read as chicken feet. Now to create her little skirt or her top or apron, whatever you might like to draw yours, I created this little bit of a ruffle right here. So that's going to be on the top part. Whatever's down here now, part of my egg, that will all get erased. And now she has her little top on. So let's go ahead and pop in her eyes. So we would put the eyes on first so that we know how low her little top needs to go. Now her eyes are just rather whimsical. They are going in, they're pointed in, and they're longer ovals right there. They have a dark spot for the pupil. And they do have a little bit of whimsical eyelashes if you would like to add that to yours. And the beak, if you think of it, is kind of a diamond shape where we're going to have a point here, a point at the top. This is rounded, so this would be the side of her little beak. And then there's 2 little lines here in the middle for the nose holes. And then there is a slight little V right there to be able to give her kind of a little bit of a smile look when she's looking at you. Now let's go ahead and pop in the top part here. So this is going to be where her blouse is, or the top part of her shirt. So I'm going to angle it off here, do a flat line, and then come up. Now let's put in the wings so then we know where our rest of our body is going to be going. So the wings, here's the side of my egg. So I know I want to put half of my wing off here. So I'm going to curve out, do a bump and another bump and bring it on in. So then we have it partway on, and then this one is going to be a little different because she's holding a basket. Now she can hold anything you want, but I'm going to come off to the side here. Here's the side of my egg right here. I'm going to come off to the side just a little bit. Now I'm going to make a sideways U, and then this is going to be that M shape to create her wing. So now we have pretty much our body of our chicken done, our little chick. She's getting ready to go someplace fancy. I'm not for sure where she's off to, but she's ready to go someplace fancy. Now let's go ahead and pop in this big old hat. So if we take a look, our hat is down lower, and it's going to be lower on her body, so it looks like a great big hat. We're going to come out, I kind of call this the flying saucer look. So we're going to come out, we're going to come across her forehead, and then back in around. So that's going to be that shape for the big part underneath. We're going to come up here on the sides here to create more of a brim, and this is going to pop up. And we're not going to be too much bigger than her head. You're depending on how you draw yours, depends on how high that will be. And this is going to give us a nice area to be able to put some flowers or whatever you might want to put on your little Easter hat on the top. I'm calling it an Easter hat. And then there's just this little part that's on the top for the top part of her hat. Now this is just the beginning stages. There's lots of details you can add onto your drawings and be able to add all of the finishing details. And like I said, you can go ahead and grab the tracer if you would like. So this is what my finished drawing is. I added a pocket, a basket with some flowers on there, added in some doodle flowers, and then also added some words on there. So there's a lot of ways to dress this little painting up and make it your own. And I already have mine drawn. So I'm going to start with that part over here. Now I'm going to take this gum eraser that I have. This is a nice eraser to be able to go over my pencil marks once I have it drawn and lighten them up so I can still see my drawing, but my pencil marks aren't too heavy. I kind of have a heavy hand when I draw, so this is just a great way to lighten my lines, but I can still see them. Okay, that looks good. Now today I'm just going to be using just a regular old set of, this is Paul Rubens. It's kind of a medium price watercolor. Watercolor comes in all different prices. So if you're just new at doing watercolor, just choose something that you can afford and start from there. I started out with simply with Crayola ones, actually, when I first started doing watercolor. So if you want to do watercolor and play, just buy what you can afford and go from there. Now I'm going to be laying in my watercolor, so I'm going to be starting light and then working my way dark. When you do watercolor, that's the sequence that you always want to work in, light and then go dark. I have my tray over here. I kind of have a little bit of messiness going on. Maybe I'll just use that little tray over there as well. So I'm going to have a little paper towel in my hand so I have something to dab my brush and be able to control the water so I'm not getting too much water on my paper. And let's go ahead and start. So I've got this little orangish yellow here. I'm going to add some water to about tea consistency. That means more water, less pigment. So let's go ahead and start with this color here. And you're going to see me layer in my color, and it's okay to leave some of white of your paper showing. That's an unusual thing about watercolor, is that it's actually preferable to see a little bit of the bright white of the paper, because that's going to be your brightest whites is going to be there. Watercolor is very much like you are coloring in your shadows. So you're starting light. So this is my highlights, and then I will be working my way dark. And I'm going to start with this little yellow, and then I'll be laying in a little bit of an orange, more orange, and then I'm going to be choosing some colors that are going to be adding my depths and my shadow and more color on there. Usually when I do watercolor, I have 3 colors that I like to use in one particular area. I usually have my light, my middle, and my dark. And this is how we're going to proceed. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit for this step. And you're just going to be able to watch me be able to apply my colors the same way in each little area and create the depth in my painting. So let's take a little bit of time here and add my colors. And there you go. You can add as many little details as you would like. You can keep on adding. This is a great little pen to use. The Uniball Signo pen for white color ink works great for adding all your details. And of course, I do like a micron pen. I used a 0.1 or 0.1. It's a permanent ink and it won't move around if it gets a little wet. So that is it, my friends. Hopefully you enjoyed watching, and I will be back with another tutorial, and hopefully you'll join me again. Subscribe if you found this information helpful in your drawing in watercolor. And if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, that would be wonderful too. So thanks everyone for hanging out with me, and come back and see me again.